Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Zaggertastic stream. It is I, your friend, the one, the only Z, a single Zaggard, and I hope y'all having a wonderful morning, noon, night, evening, whatever time it is for you today. Welcome back to the Dragon's Den, my friends, and is another wonderful, beautiful fantasy Fridays here in the Dragon's Den. How are you all doing? It is almost the weekend. The week is almost over. How is everyone? Hello all. Hello, hello. Hello, Yuki. Hello, Nelida and Alpha and everyone else. How are you all doing? It's crafting time, guys. We haven't done a crafting stream in a while, but I have a crafting idea I came up with, and I really want to do it, and I want to do it on stream before I run out of time. So I have until next Saturday to finish this, and I'm gonna start it today. We might continue it in another stream. I might just do the rest of it later. I haven't decided yet. Hi, I will sub. Okay, Wesley, thank you for the sub. Hello, Demon Blades. Gonna mostly be lurking while I work on my diamond art. Artists working together. Good is good. Oh, I knew I forgot something to do on the stream. Where is my, there it is. My desk is such a mess. Like, you guys can't see it right now. Let me turn on the light. There we go. Zelda light is on. Stream is truly ready. I will subscribe for you. Thank you. I thank you, Wesley. Oh, okay. We're back. So today, I want to, like I said, I want to do some crafting, and we're gonna have some muzak. Ah, that is loud. Let me turn that down a little, a smidgen, if you would, down to 50. 50 is good. 50%, if I do say so myself. So we've got, it was a disaster without the Zelda light. Exactly. So we've got our supply set up like we always do. But things are a little different. If you haven't noticed, so here's the old paintbrushes I used to use, which I may use today still, but I haven't decided. But I bought some new cheap ones on. Immediately drops everything. Thank God this didn't get knocked over. I would have been so mad. This is a cup of water, by the way. So I got some cheap paintbrushes on Amazon. or as they say in Europe, Amazon. Amazon. So yeah, I got these cheap paint brushes, and as you can see, I've used this one and this one. I've used these two. For this one for smaller stuff, this was for painting a full token. So we're gonna put that to the side because we're not gonna pull that out yet. And I got this, what's it called? A palette knife. So if you've never seen a palette knife before or never used one, you're probably like, what is that for? So basically what you do is when you take your paints and you have a palette, I use these, you know, I like using cheap stuff. I like reusing things. This is a round, if you can't tell, this is a round table pizza plate I use for paint. And so what you do, I think in the UK we pronounce it Amazon. Amazon. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of videos of people talking about different like marketing things, and there's one guy who's from the UK and he says Amazon. Like he doesn't pronounce the second A. Or it's Amazon instead of Amazon. Amazon. Which I don't mind, I just find it interesting. Anyways, so what a palette knife does is, like, let's say I take this red and this blue, and I don't have purple. Let's pretend I didn't have this. I would take the red and with the knife, and I would take the blue and I would mix them together. Just ever so slight, just until I get the color I want. And the reason I want this is because of what our project is. So if you go to YouTube and you look at the thumbnail that I spent hours slaving away in the kitchen on, I pronounce it the same way as the forest. The Amazon. So what we're gonna do is in D&D, right? Light and light torches are they're extremely important to understand how far a character can see. Like if we were using this as a grid, right? Like let's say we had a character this size, a token this size, right? How far is the light source going to be? And usually you just like, okay, 30 feet, blah, blah, blah. So you measure it out. But then I had the brilliant idea. What if I turn this into a light source? So when they say I put on a torch, I just put a token here. And now this shows exactly how far their light source shows. Now it goes a lot further than this in actual D&D terms. It's actually like double the length here, because the way it works in D&D is a torch is, what is it, 30 feet of bright light and then another 30 feet of dim light. So it would so this is approximately 30 feet is on a board. It's 4 by 4 inches long, and then another we double that size, so 8 by 8 inches. And I did buy some giant 8 by 8 inch wood pallets things, but they haven't come yet. And if I place that on a table, it's gonna take up, like you can already see, like this is a pretty wide space right here. This is let's see, the edge, the tip of the, that was risky of me. Where is it? The tip of this goes from 0 to 420 inches. So that's, let's see, 12 inches a foot. Is it 420 inches? No, it's 15 by... Is it 27 by 12 inches? Anyways, the point is, this already takes up a bunch of space. If I doubled the size of this, it would be going off camera. And I don't want to plop that on the table and be like, that's the light source. It's like, okay, well, we can see everything then. I want it to be a little bit more smaller. And then I bought a bunch of these. I probably bought way too many, but it was for pretty cheap overall. I think it was like 30 bucks for the full set. And the reason is because I might have monsters that are this big, and I'm gonna want to make them into monster tokens. Like, where are my monster tokens? Give me 1 second to get me monster tokens. In here. As you can see, guys, I'm very organized. I couldn't see it was hidden under something. So Here are like some of my monster tokens. There's one. There's a large creature, you know. So I could take these and just place them on the board and it's like, there, that's a goblin. There, that's a owlbear. And this is the 1 inch by 1 inch, and this is the 2 inch by 2 inch. So as you can see, this is, you know, this is the medium size, large, huge, I think, is how it goes. And then gargantuan would be 8 by 8. And so maybe there'll be a huge size creature that I use those tokens on. Maybe not. Who knows? Maybe I'll keep these as like coasters I can give out at parties. Yeah, I realized 420 is way bigger. I'm looking at this upside down, and so it's hard for me to think. I think it's supposed to be 420. Something else. You know, that very, very specific measurement of something else. Anyways. Let's take these extras off for now. These are only a few of them, by the way. I'm going to make 12 of these. I'm going to start making 12 of these because that way each of my players, so I have 6 players, right? So it's like, oh, if each of them has a torch or a light source, I can do that, right? And then if the enemies have a torch or light source, and then... So we're going to start by making 12 today. Just 12. And that way, if I lose 1 or 2, I don't have to freak out like, oh my god, where are they? It's like, oh, I just left one at a friend's house. These can also be used for coasters. That's what they came with these little things you can stick on the bottom of them, so that way they don't so that way instead of sliding, as you can see, this doesn't slide. So if I took these off and stuck it on, I'm not going to, because we actually want them to slide. We talk about Vox Machina if you've watched it. I have not seen Vox Machina, and I don't really plan to. I don't have anything against those guys. It never appealed to me. They're D&D games. DC-20, not DC-20, what the fuck is their name? Critical Role, they never appealed to me. Now we're gonna take our thing of paper towels. Slide it on over here. The reason we do this is extra protection to protect my table and my my mouse pad. Just making some space on the desk real quick here. Now normally I might have had this set up, but here's the thing. This gives me more time in the stream to just chill out and talk, and people can, you know, see my process. As an ADHDer, as one with the, I have become one with the ADHD. I've learned to channel it. Can you just flatten out for me? Thank you. That's very helpful. Okay, I'm gonna put these up here. And then we'll put these extras here as an anchor point. And then... So to make things easier on myself, right? Because drawing in so here's my plan, right? You might be wondering why, if I'm gonna do yellow, or if I'm gonna make it a torch, what color am I gonna do? Yellow makes sense. Maybe I'll mix yellow and red. Maybe I'll mix, maybe I'll do a yellow, that's pink. Maybe I'll do a yellow pink or a yellow orange. I haven't fully decided. But the other thing is, whatever color I do use, I'm gonna mix it with white. And the reason is I'm gonna have the center, where the player would be, that circle, be a really bright one. That way the player can easily put their token right on top of it, and they know where the center is at all times. It's not like slightly off like that, or like that, or like that. You know, it'll be centered. And the reason I'm able to center this one so well is you can't really see it. But last night, can you focus, please? I kind of hate how this won't focus. You can kind of see this line here, and then there's a second line going this way. There we go. Had to angle it weirdly. I used a marker to line it. Now, it looks a lot brighter close up on the camera than it is. In real life, it's very light. Like, I can barely see it better than you can. Now that you see it, now that you know it's there, you can probably see it in here. But it's not that bright. And so then what I did after I figured that out is I took this box here and I literally just cut off this edge. And then I took this guy and put him on the thing I cut. And I cut out a half decent circle. Now it's obviously got some edges, but the point of it is just to be a circle. And then I took another one. I cut a second one just in case. And then I cut this one. And I took this guy and I drew a circle on both sides. And then I cut it out with an X-Acto knife. And now I have this guy I can put here. And I can paint my lighter torch color here. And I can then take this guy, put him where I put that, and paint around it. So it doesn't bleed too much into it, but it bleeds a little bit. And that way I'm not messing up one of these with like test stuff. I'm messing this up. In Canada, we say Zanoma. I don't think so, Yuki. I don't think so. Basically, we pronounce it. I feel like in Australia they'd say Zanoma because they're actually in the southern hemisphere. Is there another way as the name of the horse? I'm here. Sorry I'm late. We talk about Vox Machina again. Inches. Did you hear about the Pal World thing about you can't fly anymore in the game? You can't. No, it's you can't use the pals to glide. That's what it is. You can't use the pals to glide or as mounts. I met a new guy already. He looks like a vampire, Johnny Depp, and he's a total goofball. Well, it's good that you're out there, Lily. Your process is stupid. Well, listen here, Yuki. Why not make blue pretty fire? Because I want it to feel more close to realism. I want it to feel like a torch. And what color would a basic cheap torch, I say cheap, a basic torch they would make in the Middle Ages be? You know what a torch looks like, the idea of a torch. And so I want to get as close to that coloring as possible. And so a mix of like yellow and orange and red would be the best idea. And I actually have not used this yellow yet. So we know we have plenty here. I'm gonna open it up if I can. Sometimes these things are a little... Thankfully I have a bunch of blades and things that I can use to cut it open. Now always be safe and make sure your knife is pointed away from you. This isn't a real knife, but anything going fast enough can hurt you. Like walls don't hurt you and normally, but if they start falling towards you. And then I hate having this extra wrap. It wouldn't get in the way, but it just bugs the shit out of me. So I'm gonna, there we go. A circle, it kind of looks like an Oreo with a hole in it. I mean, sure. That is a thing it could look like. And we're gonna use this box that I showed you as trash for anything you want to throw away. Okay, first let's start by trying to make like a good torch color. And what we'll do is we're gonna put these to the side. Right? I have not mixed colors in a long time, and my eye for coloring is not fantastic. You can see where I was using a pen to mark it, and I left a little dot. Thankfully, these pens should be soft enough to for the coloring to the paint to overpower it, so to speak. Okay, so what we're gonna do is go online, go on the interwebs, and I gotta put this somewhere. We'll just put this over here for now. And we'll take these. We'll deal with these when we get to them. We're not going to be painting yet. For now, we're just creating our paints, and then we'll decide how we want to paint. I just realized something stupid. To type, I need my keyboard. My wireless keyboard, yes. So what is everybody's plans for the weekend? How's everybody doing? Anybody got anything neat to do? Let's try to make it quick. We'll let's see. How do we? Okay. Inner bright core. I'm going on the interwebs and looking up what people are saying, and by people I mean a good friend of ours. Making dinner now. Ooh, nice. Hello, Draco Stevens. I don't much plan. I'm gonna go with the flow type, or I try to be at least. I can be a with the flow, but as I get older, I need to plan more. And realizing one of the problems with ADHD is ADHDers like myself, we don't plan enough. We're like, oh, it's totally fine. I don't need a plan. I can just chill, right? And that's true. Like, we can do that. It's not gonna freak me out. But by not planning, I'm actually hurting myself. Because, like, if I don't have a plan for the week, what am I gonna do? I don't know, whatever I'm told to do. But if I have my job where I'm the one telling myself what to do, and I don't make a plan, I'm not gonna do anything, because I'm not gonna tell myself to do it in the minute. Like, when I wake up at 9 a.m., I'm not gonna wake up and be like, well, time to get to work. I'm gonna wake up and be like, oh, I'm gonna have some cereal, I'm gonna watch cartoons or something. Then maybe I'll get to work. So I have to, and once a week, I have to go in and plan out the day, you know? Now let's see, let's start, first we wanna start with the inner glow, the flame center. So it's saying here, okay, so we're just gonna try. My grandpa made stew. What kind of stew did he make? So it's saying 2 parts yellow, 1 part white, and half a part orange. Now I'm no wizard expert here. I'm no colors expert. As you can see, I've used, here, I'm gonna move this up a bit. As you can see, I've used brown the most. Because when I'm making the monster tokens, which you make more monster tokens than you do of anything else, I use brown and it always ends up, you know. Let's see, 2 parts yellow, so let's. Things of yellow, just 2 little squirts. And then my white is actually like very liquidy, so I'm gonna shake it up so it's not so liquidy. Beef stew. What else was in it besides beef? 1 part white. And just a tiny smidgen. I'm gonna shake this up just to be sure. Just a tiny little. Okay, I need to wipe that. Thankfully, I have a big roll of paper towels here. That's how we pronounce them here in the motherland. Now you might be thinking, look at all that paint you're wasting. It's like, yay, is it really wasted? The answer is, I guess, yeah. And always make sure you keep your stuff clean. Or as clean as you can. I mean, painting is a messy thing. So if it's not perfectly clean, that's fine. Okay. Now we're going to take our palette knife. And I'm right-handed, so I'm going to turn this to the side. We're just going to mix it in. I should probably get a new palette plate because this is starting to get really old and dirty and nasty. And look at that nice kind of like light coloring we got. I want to actually make it even lighter, so I'm going to add a little bit more white. Yellow is one of those colors that gets influenced really easily. So it's really fun to work with because it's really easy to kind of change it up. What I mean by it gets influenced easily is in when you're working with paints, right? Look at that. Ooh, look at that. It's got this kind of like yolky color. That might be a little too white now. Ooh, I don't like that. Never mind. I probably shouldn't have added that much orange. I probably should have stuck with the first one, but hey. Okay, we're gonna add more yellow. We want to keep our yellow coloring, so. Paint experts are screaming in the chat, how dare you? What are you doing? And now it's just this kind of mustardy color. And now I've kind of ruined it. So we're gonna go with some more white. We're just fucking around, so it's fine if we make mistakes. That is not. Oh, that's way too much white. Maybe we can salvage this. You know, we're just gonna have to deal with what we do. You know, that's just what we're gonna use. We're just gonna use that. We're not gonna worry about it. You know, the point of this is fun and experimentation. I'm trying to convince my cat to come cuddle with me thus far. Not good on progress. Ah, she's here. Hog, well done. Well done, Lily. You deserve a biscuit for that. And here's our friend. So now we're just gonna start painting. I'm not gonna worry too much about making mistakes. If I was a paint expert, wow, it's so warm in here. Will you have enough paint for all your tiles? Probably not. I should wetten the bristles. So this is for D&D campaign? Yes, this is for my D&D campaign. Well, it's a DC 20, but basically the same thing. Don't make the mistake I did. Always wetten your bristles first. Let them soften up. You should probably put them in warm water, not cold water like I did, but... There we go, there we go. Now we're cooking with penguins. If you've never cooked with penguins, you don't know what you're missing. Okay, so So we're just gonna take this, and we have our little hole here. This is why I made the hole. This way, if I make a mistake, it's on the cardboard. Is this a perfect circle? No. Does it need to be a perfect circle? No. Why? This ain't like Microsoft level. Or a Disney level project. If it was, I would have gotten like stencils or whatever. Now let's see how that looks. Let's see how that came out. Looks pretty good. A little messy, but that's fine. Life is all about the imperfections. And I'm just gonna fill it in a little bit. And then we're gonna get our one of our other plates. I'm gonna let it dry. And then we're gonna get another one. See how easy this is? So remind me, this reading. Penguins make great assistant chefs. Exactly. Yeah, you gotta cook with penguins. Look, if you've never had a penguin teach you how to cook, then you've never lived life. That reminds me, there's this episode of American Dad, which I love. I love this joke. It's an episode where he splits his personality between his good half and his bad half. Look at that. Nearly perfect. Let me just I like rounding out the edges as much as I can. Voila. Look at that. Nice little circle. And we're gonna put it with the other guy to let him dry. We can do 2 more of that per plate. I definitely bought way more of these than I need. Definitely. But we deal with what we have. Look at that. Not a perfect circle, but it's a fun little circle. If I worry too much, it's going to be bigger than the inch that I want. We take that. We let it dry. And then we can get one more guy. So anyways, what we do is, so there's this episode of American Dad where he splits his body, he splits his body between his good personality and his bad personality. And there's this scene where he finds this, his good personality finds this dog. No, is it the bad person? The bad personality. The bad personality finds a dog on the street and brings it to a Vietnamese chef. And then later, the good personality is trying to fix all the bad stuff he did. And they go to the Vietnamese chef and they're like, "Where's the dog? Can we get the dog back?" And the Vietnamese chef just shakes his head back and forth and goes no and points to the kitchen. And they're like, "Oh, no, don't tell me." And they go inside and they see the dog is busy cooking in the kitchen. He's the new chef. The fucking joke was great. If you get the joke, you get the joke. It's kind of a mean joke, but it's also like, come on. We all know that was the joke. I love that. The subversion of expectations is great. Okay, so we got 4 of those guys over there. Here, I'll show you on the... Oh, maybe I shouldn't have moved it. We got 4 of these guys sitting on this plate here. And then we're gonna get 4 more because we have another... Do we actually have... We can get 8 more. We got 2 plates. People are gonna be like, damn, he eats so much round table pizza. And I'm gonna be thinking, no, I don't. I was gonna say. I'm very bad at painting, but I'm doing my best, and that's all that matters. Don't worry about being perfect. Life is all about the imperfections. Or as the once great Bob Ross says, happy little accidents. People are gonna be like, what do you mean once great? He's still great. No, he's excellent. Imperfections are what make us special. Exactly. Just like no 2 torches are the same. No 2 of these lights will be the same. I think we might actually have enough paint. I feel like it's getting more orange over time though. Maybe that's just my brain. So quick question, does anybody remember that one anime / manga, Bubble 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 Bubble? It was probably the first parody anime I ever saw. That one is hilarious. Even in stories, if you have perfect character, it would be more... Exactly, that's why people are not a fan of Rey from the new Star Wars. She feels too perfect. She didn't start off being perfect. I'm going to be honest with you. People are like, oh, it's so obvious. You can see how she started off being perfect from the very beginning. And I'm like, no, she didn't really. It was later as the story kept going and evolving. They kept like adding more things to make her more special. And it's like, oh, look, she's this character's this and blah, 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 blah. And it was like, eh. I think if they had stuck to one of the stories they had gone with, either the J.J. Abrams one or the Rian Johnson, it would have worked way better. But they decided to do neither, and that's why it came out bad. Or at least I don't like it. If you love it, tell me why. Speaking of, there's a... I do remember it from Toonami. That was a hilarious show. How could I forget a name like that? Bo, 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 bo. Fist of the Nose Hair! That was a wild anime. I tried rewatching it years later and I was like, I cannot. I liked it as a kid. As like a 9-year-old kid, I liked it. As a 13-year-old kid, I was too into Naruto. I might like it now, but I wouldn't want to watch it all the way through. All I remember is he had the Fist of the Nose Hair, and there was a talking pickle. That's right. Anime did Pickle Rick before Pickle Rick. Before Rick was born, there was already the talking pickle. May have been where they got the idea, not gonna lie. Probably not, but you never know. Could have been, oh, I just realized I'm painting off screen. I put my here. I need to move my camera down a bit. Because I always want to rest my hand here. So let's do that so you can always. There we go. That way you're always seeing me paint. Ran so ran so Pickle Rick could walk. Exactly. I remember hearing it now. Do you think I'd Luffy ask Zoro to kill one of Straw Hats? He'd do it. I know Oda had said yes, but I don't think so. What? Please, can you rewrite that, Demon's Blades? My ADHD and reading comprehension cannot understand. Oh, real quick, back to what I was saying. So, in one of my shorts, if you've been following, which you all should be following my shorts, hello, as loyal cultists of the Dragon's Den, you should be watching all my shorts. There was, one of them was about how sleep is a cheat code for the brain. And, you know, people were commenting like, oh, if it's a cheat code, then I'm currently running with all the bugs and tabs open at the same time, which I thought was hilarious. But then there was one guy who was like, actually, it's been proven that people who stay up until 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. most nights who undersleep have higher IQs. And I was like, is that true? And I looked it up and I replied, I was like, yeah, that's not actually true. There's no science that backs that up, blah, 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 blah. And the weird thing is the person who commented that deleted their comment. Like, I guess they felt like they were stupid for commenting that, but I would have rather them kept that comment up because it was an interesting conversation we were having. But they deleted their comment, which made me a little sad. However, in my short from yesterday, if you saw it, it was us talking about Devil May Cry 3 and how the female protagonists in the character are not in the female characters in the game are not that good. Or at least we don't think they are, you know, our opinions. And one guy was like, your reading comprehension is so bad. I bet you struggle with, what do you call it? Dr. Seuss. And I was like, what? It was like, brother. Dude, the writing in... Look, we don't hate DMC3, but let's be honest. Some of the writing sometimes in Devil May Cry is not very good. You can see my whole text chain. Maybe I'm being a bit mean, but I kind of want to fuck with the guy. I'm not going to lie with you. I'm just fucking with him. I don't care. That's not true. I'm talking about it. I do care. But he's also like, you guys weren't paying attention to the story. It's like, we were clearly paying attention. We just don't think it's very good. But this guy's so... You can tell this guy's so salty. We didn't say Devil May Cry is like the best writing ever. Now, that doesn't mean don't go harass this guy. But go read the comments. Read the comments. Like whoever you think is correct. If you think he's more right, then like him. I don't care. I just think it's funny. I just think the whole thing is funny, and I'm just messing with the guy. So, okay, so do you think if Luffy asked Zoro to kill someone of the Straw Hats, he'd do it? I know Oda said yes, but I think if Luffy told Zoro to kill someone, he'd do it. I don't think Oda would ever have Luffy kill someone. He doesn't even have him kill his villains. If you look at the way Luffy beats all of his villains, he crushes their dreams. He doesn't kill them. He never kills them. I think Zoro's totally down to kill people. And I think that if Luffy told him to, one, he is truly loyal to his captain. Like, he promised Felty, and he's like, I'm gonna stick with it. Even if Luffy's wrong. I'm gonna stick with what he says. That's one. Two is if Luffy told Zoro to kill someone, he would believe there's a good reason. But I don't think he ever would. That's the thing, though. These are his best friends. His crew are his family. I mean, Zoro has even said on multiple occasions, Luffy is his best friend. That being said, Zoro's not Luffy's best friend. Luffy's best friend is Usopp. They share a brain in so many ways. That's not true. I'm talking about if I do care. Man, that's so real. DMC 3 is very dated, but I do think Lady is better than Lady was in DMC 1. Lady is better than Trish? Kind of. I don't know. Hard to say. We didn't really like either of them that much. I mean, we saw how steadfast Zoro was in following Luffy's orders with Usopp that one time. He was even more steadfast than Luffy was. He was like, when Usopp said he was off the crew, Luffy was like, I'm gonna bring him back, and Zoro's like, you can't. Zoro was more adamant than Luffy was about that. Tesla Trish? Yes, Trish. Fair. I get what you mean. I can agree, or at least I can see the point that Lady is better. But if you watch the short, we're not trying to say it's bad. We're just like, we don't think it's very good. Does that mean that we didn't like it? No. Does that mean we don't recommend it? No. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it to certain people. But if someone was like, hey, which DMC should I play? I'd be like, play 3. 3 is the most fun so far. 3 and 4. Okay, we're almost done coloring the center of these circles. And then I don't know how much longer we want to let them dry. Okay, so that's 12 little cake guys that we've got drying. So let those guys dry out a little. While we do that, we're gonna clean our brush. I do not really have a studio for painting. One day I want to have a huge table that's just for like making minis and shit. That'd be so much fun. I don't know if I'd be able to stream on that table, but I want it to exist. Make it happen. I'm gonna manifest it. You know, I'm gonna manifest that we're gonna get, one day we're gonna have 100 people viewing these streams. On average. I believe in my awesomeness. I can make it happen. I can change him. Okay. That looks clean. I'm gonna clean off our palette. I probably shouldn't have left the paint on this like this. Thankfully, it comes out a lot easier on here than on the brush. I'm not worried about like pulling out the bristles or anything. Okay, so next, we're gonna start getting the outer side ready. And we're gonna do yellow, orange, and red. So, 1 part yellow. That's a big part yellow, that's like 2 parts. Orange. This one always comes out so unclean. I always end up having to like clean it so I don't have to worry about the... And the red, let's shake it up just to make sure. And we're gonna do a tiny, tiny little piece. That's good. That's probably more than I want, but that's good. Now we mix. I should really have gotten an actual palette, because all this leftover paint is actually getting in the way. Maybe that'll be my next purchase for this stuff, is an actual palette. It looks a little too dark for my taste. So let's... add a little white to brighten it up. Let's add a little yellow. Might be a bit too much yellow, but yellow is a very strong, weak color. So when it comes to mixing things, if you add yellow, it's gonna mix in, it's gonna overpower the other colors the least, whereas red will overpower them the most. Let's add a hint more white. There we go. That's kind of the color I'm looking for. Kind of this golden color. Maybe a touch more red. Just a tiny, tiny, tiny little. It's a bit too much, but whatever. We'll deal with the consequences later. Okay, add a little more yellow and white. I think we had the perfect one before I added that red, I'm not gonna lie. I really need an actual palette. This is becoming a nightmare. I don't know DMC as a whole, as they put so much focus on Dante and the Sparta family as a whole. Well, yes, the main focus, I feel like that leaves the other characters like Lady, Trish lacking. Yeah, with Trish, I give it a big pass because it was their first game. Like a big, big pass. Okay, we'll just deal with this tomato paste looking color. Oh, it's hot in here. And when we saw you... Yeah, these are mostly dried, so we're gonna use these. Where's my little guy? There you are. We might not need this. Let's try without that. It's a bit too orange. I don't like it. Oh, that's a lot of yellow. There we go. That's kind of the color I want. It's becoming a lot more brown, but I'll deal with it. Get as much paint off as it. Like we said, accidents happen. Deal with the accidents. Happy little accidents. There we go. That's the color I was looking for. Look at that. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Now I've lost a little bit of the circle in the center. That's fine. We can always repaint the center circle if we need to. Let me see how it would look. Okay, now I'm just losing the circle. I'm worrying too much about how it looks. Now I've got a torchlight. Look at that. Now we're gonna let that dry. Okay, this is gonna be harder to let dry multiple at a time. This time we're gonna be a little more careful with the circle. And go slow and out. Go slow and out. There we go. Keeps the circle kind of big. And again, we can repaint it. God, it's so warm today. I really hate it. I hate when it gets warm. I love when it's cold. Look at that. Bam. You know, you gotta make mistakes. You don't learn if you don't make mistakes. Okay, I'm gonna turn on my fan real quick, guys. Oh, much better, much better. So hot in here. I might need to... I think we're gonna go on a quick break. I'm gonna move my cats into the living room so I can open the door. Okay, chat, that took a lot less time than I thought it would. So I am back. All right, let's get to painting this guy. This one has the best circle, so I want to avoid ruining it the most. And I'll answer your question a bit. There we go. We kept most of the circle, chat. Damn, he's fast as heck. Well, it was because it turns out the cats were already in the living room, so all I had to do was close the door on them. I didn't realize this. Which wizard is your favorite from the Order of Wizards in Lord of the Rings? Well, if we're talking about Lord of the Rings, technically the only correct answer... There are only really two answers, realistically. And that's Gandalf or Saruman. And my answer is Gandalf. Now, yes, there are technically other wizards, but they don't do anything in the story. They exist, but they don't do anything. So I can't really use them. You know, that's like saying, oh, my favorite character in Naruto is the second Hokage. What does the second Hokage do? I know he shows up in the final battle, but like realistically, throughout the story, yeah, he exists in the lore. But he doesn't do anything, really. He does stuff, I know, in the final battle. And I know they're the brown, blue. There's the brown wizards, the blue wizard. But again, they got all... The thing is, you have to remember the wizards are angels, more or less. And a lot of the wizards got obsessed with their life on Middle Earth. So they stopped doing their job. Okay. Can I... Let's try and move this. The good news is the paint is drying pretty quickly because it's not super thick on these guys. And they're all going to come out slightly different colors, and I'm okay with that. I'm going to be quiet while I do these circles, or quiet-ish. I'm going to be focusing on the painting. The act of painting, that is. Now, is there a better method for this? Almost definitely. Do I know that method? No. Am I just kind of going with my gut on this? Yes. Okay, so then how was Gandalf able to become the White? So, the way it works is the gods basically created the angels, obviously, just like they did in a lot of other religions in the real world. And when everything happened with, I forget the god's name, the god who created, who essentially turned Saruman and a bunch of the other angels, because Saruman is also Sauron, not Saruman, my brain is being stupid. Sauron is also an angel. He's just one of the most powerful. When he turned him and a bunch of the other angels, including the Balrogs, the gods were like, well, we already stopped the first guy, and we decided the world, it's not our job to intervene with everything, so we're going to let you figure it out. However, we're going to send some of our angels down to fix the mess. And Saruman in heaven, basically, was considered one of the most gifted angels. One of the most skilled in crafting. I'm adding some red to the edges. And because he was so good at magic, he became very prideful in heaven. And so when he was first sent down to speak to the gods, him and the others, they had actually interacted with the elves multiple times. See, by the time we get to Lord of the Rings, this is something they don't tell you in the story. But this is not, basically because they're angels, they can die and be reborn in as many times as the gods want. And this is not their first run. They've actually gone through multiple runs like it's a roguelite. And in their first one, Saruman showed his pride and his greed and wanting to be considered the best of the best. And the others were shown how they kind of got lost in the sauce. Like, I forget what happened to the blue wizard exactly. I think he died. And then the two browns got too addicted to, like, they were like, they got too addicted to nature and being with the animals, so they stopped caring about what happened to man and elf and stuff like that. But they noticed Gandalf was actually he stayed on task, and he wanted to help, because he actually cared about the beings that lived there, not just the planet, the world. And so, are these ones dry? Yeah, they're dry. And so, I'm forgetting his name, but the King of the Elves knew this, and so when they came back for their second run, or their third run, because he lived for so long, he saw their first run, and he remembered them. He's like, I think Gandalf should be the leader. And immediately that made Saruman get jealous. He's like, I'm the better wizard. What do you mean? And Gandalf was like, yes, he's the better wizard. He's the white. He should lead us. And he's like, see, he agrees with me. And the King of the Elves was like, okay, if you guys say so, but here's my recommendation. And that already made him a little butthurt, basically. Right? It would be like if you were the A student in your class and you came down and, you had taken a class before, but your memories were wiped, and then you started again, and there was a student who was just starting, and he was in, like, let's say this was Wizardry 102, right? And you would you'd proven yourself in Wizardry 101, and someone in the Wizardry 101 class was joining 102, and this was your second time taking it. And so he had gotten to know you guys because there was like some program where the Wizardry 101 people interact with the Wizardry 102, but you didn't remember that experience at all. And then the kid who comes in from the Wizardry 101 class is like, I think this guy's better than you. You'd be like, what the fuck? I have the best grades. Why is he getting all the praise? And so he already started trying to like undermine Gandalf in small, tiny ways, like sending him off to the middle of nowhere while Saruman dealt with all the big issues. And that already allowed Sauron to start corrupting him slowly. Because now he's like, I want to prove I'm better. And so once, and he did this without the gods finding out, because he knows how to keep it. He knows how to hide his tracks. And so Sauron, Saruman joins Sauron, and once Gandalf found out, the cat is out of the bag at that point. So he's just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna start doing evil. I don't care if the gods notice. They didn't respect me. Nobody respected me. I deserve to be respected. And so when Gandalf died, the gods basically said, yeah, no, you're not dead. And just zapped him back to life. And then they gave him more power. And that's what made him Gandalf the White. And that's why he comes in and Saruman's like, you can't beat me. You're only Gandalf the Grey. And then when he takes off his cloak and shows off his full power, he's like, actually, no. Because up until that point, he was literally weaker, in a sense, than... Like, he wasn't allowed to use his full angel capabilities. Or at least enough of them. Because if he used his full ones, he'd probably kill... He'd probably end up killing or corrupting the humans and elves around him. Whether intentional or not. Look at that. Looks pretty. I'm going to take off my gunners. I should probably have taken these off for painting. I'm going to add a little bit of the red on the edges. The darker orange. Okay, so that's, now this is clearly the ideal method done by a true artiste. My next question is, what would the One Ring do to him? The same thing it does to everybody. Corrupt you. So, first you have to understand what the One Ring is, and before I tell you the answer, I want to know, what do you think the One Ring does? What does the Ring of Sauron do? And I'll get one thing out of the way. It puts you into the Shadow Realm. I forget what it's actually called, but it turns you invisible by sending you to the Shadow Realm, where other creatures from the Shadow Realm can see you. So that's the first thing. Obviously, it does that. But what else can it do? Like, without looking it up, just tell me, what can it do? And I'll once someone answers, I will read that and I will tell you how close they were. I mean, to my understanding, it plays on your desires. That's not what it can do. Okay, so it is alive, so it can do that. But I mean, what magical powers does it have? Does it let you shoot fireballs? Does it let you speak to animals? Like, what other thing do you think it can do? Other than turn you invisible? I don't know. Exactly. That's the thing. In actuality, the other thing it can do besides turn you invisible is nothing. It can't do anything else. For a normal person, it cannot do anything else. For Sauron, what it does is it enhances his abilities. So Sauron naturally has the ability to mind control people, right? That's his natural gifted ability. And he's really good at it. He's better at it than anybody outside the gods, right? And we've already said that the gods were like, nope, this is your realm. We're not going to interfere. We're going to literally build another realm that has a one-way road. And you guys can come here, but we're not going to interfere. If Sauron destroys the whole thing, he destroys it. If you stop Sauron, you stop Sauron. It's up to the will of man to decide what happens, right? And so his power, his natural ability is to mind control people. So when he helped, I forget his name, create the other rings, he actually, think of it like coding. Like imagine if you coded a new magical wallet for a bunch of people, right? A new online wallet. And then you coded a master key that could control the other banks, the other accounts. That was the first thing he did. That's the first thing it does, is it allows his ring to control their rings. So all the rings the elves have, all the rings the humans have, all the rings the dwarves have, it lets him control them. And then it amplifies and focus his mind control powers. That's all it can do, really. Its main ability is the ability to amplify and focus his mind control powers and allow him to gain greater and more specific control over anybody who is wearing one of those other rings. Right? So basically, if you put one of those other rings on, he has more control over you, and he can control multiple people all at once. And so first, he gave it to the elves, because the elves are the most useful species. They will live long. He can put it on one elf, and it will affect that elf until they die, which is basically never. Right? So if you have a minion who can do whatever you want for, 1,000 years, that's a lot more useful than, let's say, a human who can do it for maybe 100. However, elves have such freaking high stats that as soon as all the elves put it on, or the 3 elves, I should say, Galadriel, and I forget the other 2, they all immediately went, oh, I know what this is doing, and they just resisted his ability. Their stats are just so high, they just resisted him. Imagine it's like he has psychic type abilities, and they're all, what resists psychic? Is it steel? Here, I'll use a better example. He has water type abilities, and all of them are fire types. Like, it's like, it does 1/8 the damage. They're fire rock types. There we go. Fire dragon. So it does half and then half again. So it does 1/4 damage. So the elves were just like, no, we just resist. And so it didn't do anything. So then next he went onto the dwarves, and it worked on the dwarves. But the thing is, dwarves have a very clockwork mentality where they're like, I do action, I keep doing action. And they just keep doing that action. They don't really have the creativity to branch out into other actions. And their one thing is they like to mine for gold and treasure. And so him mind controlling them made all the dwarves who were wearing the rings, who were kings and stuff, just keep going, we're going to keep mining. I mine, I keep mining. I find stuff, I use that to make me mine. And that's all they did is mine. Which was useful because you could control them, but it also led to their downfall because constantly mining is what they found a place where one of the Balrogs was trapped, and then the Balrog killed all of them. So that's like, oh, that didn't work out. And then he put it on the humans, and it worked perfectly. It mind controlled them. Humans can be creative enough to like think of new ways to help him, but they ultimately serve him. So it's like, finally, it worked. And that's all the ring can really do, is amplify his powers, allow him to control multiple people at once, and then the people who he's controlling through those rings is amplified even more. Think of it like light through a magnifying glass, and then through a prism that points to multiple people at once. And then, so once he lost it, because it has a part of his soul in him, he put a significant amount of his soul into that ring. It is also part him, right? And so it wants to be with him. Like your right arm wants to be on you. If your right arm is disconnected, it's dead. It's just a dead tree branch at that point, right? Just a limb. So your right arm inherently would want to be part of your body. Think of the ring as most of his body, most of his soul. And so what it does is basically, there's a scene. How I explain this is there's a scene in not Avatar, Avengers: Age of Ultron, where Scarlet Witch is going around. She's mind controlling people, and you see that scene where you go into what's his name, Tony's head, and he sees the future and he sees how devastated it is and how he has to fix it. And that's what drives him to build Ultron. He's like obsessed now with building Ultron. What the ring does is whenever someone who is not Sauron is touching it, it tells them, hey, you know that thing you want? I can give it to you. If you use me, you'll have all the power in the world. You can do anything you want. And it just slowly keeps whispering in your ear, in your soul, over and over, hey, do the thing. Put me on. You can do the thing. You can do it with my help. And it does that because if you put it on, he can see you and he can find the ring and he can easily get it back. No one would have been able to beat him. But really it can't do anything. So every time someone's like, if I have the ring, we'll be able to stop Sauron. We can end the wars. That's because the ring is telling them, I can stop it. If you put me on, you'll have like the ability to fly and cast fireball infinite times per day. You won't need to rest anymore. You'll be able to shoot laser beams out of your eyes. You'll be like, it's literally telling them like, you could do anything with me on. Literally anything. And it's all a lie. But it's so easy to corrupt people. Elves have too high stats and dwarves are too obsessed with their one thought process. Humans, however, have so many desires and wants and needs that they are the most easily corruptible. And then there's the, what do you call them? Then there's the not halflings. My brain is blanking. The Shire, hobbits, the hobbits. Hobbits have such a chill life vibe that it doesn't corrupt them as easily. It still corrupts them. It just takes a lot longer because hobbits just want to relax. They just want to go home, smoke their weed, eat food, drink beer, party, and then do it again the next day. That's all they want to do. They just want to do that forever. And so it's really hard to corrupt someone who already has the perfect life and tell them, I will give you the perfect life. And they're like, well, I have the perfect life. It's like, yes, but I will give you a more perfect life. It's like, how can you give me more of what I have? And he's like, well, I'll do it. Like the ring is basically like, okay, I can do it. I promise you, I swear. It's like, just listen to me. And then the hobbits just keep going, can you though? And so but it slowly does, the longer you're with it, you can't fully be like, no, eventually it will corrupt you. So basically what would have happened if Gandalf put it on is he would have been corrupted. He would have been like Saruman, and he would have been like, I will have the power now. I will be the greatest wizard. I will be Gandalf the Black, and I will destroy everything, and everything will listen to me because I deserve to rule. All these mortals, even the elves, they don't really understand the ways of the world. I'm an angel. I was created by the gods as their messenger, their hand, their fist, and they will listen to me. Like, you can even see Gandalf, he touches the ring for a second, and he's crushed instantly. His soul is destroyed. Like, the next scene you see him in, he's, like, cowering in the side. It's like, don't give it to me. To my understanding, so yeah, that's more or less what the One Ring does and what would have happened to Gandalf if he put it on. He would have been instantly corrupted, and he's almost more corruptible than humans because he's not human. Like, we see that with Saruman. The angel, the Valari, I think is what they're called, they're not free from corruption. In fact, maybe they're even more corruptible than people. I keep bringing it off screen because I'm trying to bring it closer to here. Let me move my mic over here so I feel like I have to be closer. There's another one. Let's see if we can make the sides a little darker again. Where's some red? There's some of that orange red. Is there one thing media has taught us is that angels are not infallible? Exactly. They're not. I mean, you look back to the oldest stories, the Bible. Not the oldest. Technically, the oldest are the stories of Gilgamesh, but the Bible goes back pretty far, so we'll go with that one. The Bible. If we go back all the way to the Bible, one of the first stories is about God's most loyalist angel falling from heaven from pride and greed and becoming the devil. Literally one of the oldest stories. And why does he fall from heaven? There are multiple answers to that, but the one I've seen the most common is when God made humans, he was like, these are my perfect beings. The angels shall bow down to the humans because the humans are perfect. And he saw them and thought, no, we are better than the humans. I'm not going to bow down to a lesser being. I mean, it's a little bit more than that. He was mad that they were given, he was given too much free will is sort of the idea. I consider the Bible as a form of media, although I'm Christian. No, it is a form of media. You're right. It is. I mean, media just means stories. And they are stories. Whether they're real or not, they're stories. Like, it's not called a news pancake. It's called a news story. I don't know where I was going with that, but you know, you got it. You guys are smart enough. Like they say, a story in the paper. Like if I were to say like, oh, there's a thing that happened to me. I want to tell you guys a story about a thing that happened to me. It's still a story. Yeah, this paint is starting to dry out. That paint might have already dried out. No, it's still a little wet. Okay, let's put these bad boys down to the side here. Yeah. The Bible, praise be to Jimmy. So I'm guessing the yellow disc is a bright light and the orange ring is dim light? No, not exactly. So the way it works in D&D is... Where's my other token? Where did it go? Is it over here somewhere? Yeah, I'll find it eventually. So the way it works is if you have a 1 inch token like that, this is bright light, and then another 4 inches out would be dim light. But that would be huge. That would be like the size of this plate. Would be the dim light. And I did buy something that big, but it hasn't come in yet, and I want to get these done before next Saturday. The yellow is the character. Exactly. The yellow is where the character is going to go. That way the player can always put it somewhat centered. Okay, gotta turn that around. Trying to keep the red on the edges. That way it gets darker as it goes. Weird question in the chat. Have you guys ever drawn a perfect circle? Or not like a perfect circle, but, you know, as close to perfect as you could. I once had a friend who was like, he was teaching a class. Because he was a tutor at his school for math, because he was pretty good at math. And he's like, okay, so we're gonna draw a circle. And he wasn't even looking, he just went, and he looks back, looks at his students, looks at the thing, and he's like, 1 minute. And he takes out his phone and takes a picture of the circle, and he's like, I'm sorry, that's the best circle I've ever drawn, just offhand. It's been too long since I played D&D. It's always too long. If you're not currently playing D&D, it's been too long since you've played D&D. That's my motto. I'm good at circles, but I can't draw a straight line without aid. Makes sense. I'm good at neither, but I'm good enough at both. I try to get aid wherever I can. Because they're tools, why not use them? Okay, this needs more paint, which means we gotta do some more mixing. We're at the bottom of the barrel. I really need to get a palette. No, I fucked that up. Oh well. Okay, we need to... First, let's wet our bristles to let them kind of relax. And then we're gonna do our orange, yellow, white, red combo here. I sure as hell have tried. Oh, that's all that matters. Every time, this orange is like so messy for some reason. It never comes out clean. Like, look at this. All my bottles, you can see they stayed mostly clean on the edges, but this one, it always drips off to the side. Okay, you know what? I think that might be too much. Okay, I need to get a fresh thing of paper towels here. Oh, this one needs to be cleaned too. I guess I just can't see it on the white. Now for the mixing. It's not going to look exactly like the rest of it because it's going to come out a little weird. That's fine. We get as close as we can. And we add a little more yellow. Sorry, I'm going off topic, but don't worry about going off topic. That looks close enough. Trying to think, I never painted a miniature. That's a good pizza place? What is? I'm confused. What? I'm pretty sure I've done that trick once too, basically using my hand as a compass. Huh, never done that before. I got a protractor or a coin was turn the paper while I held the pencil in place. Don't think I've done that myself. Oh, Alpha, thank you for the subscription. Yanny, hi, how you doing, Yanny? How's life? How's your I know you just told me about it, but I'm trying to remember what you said. Oh, the pizza you get from that plate. Is it good? Round Table? Round Table's fine. It's nothing amazing, but it's nothing terrible either. I literally just have these plates because I've eaten there before. Okay, this needs way more red. Believe it or not, it needs more red. No, that's too much. Errors were made. Mistakes were made. Error. There we go, that's the color. There we go. That's closer to what we had. Less pumpkin-y. How you doing, Yanni? What's been going on today for you? I know you start soon, right? Like in a month? Your new jab? You excited? That's pretty good. We're gonna have to live with that. RuneScape. Oh, RuneScape. Kind of want to find another game to play with peeps so I can keep RuneScape on this side. I mean, if you guys are down, I'll start a Terraria server. Okay, I gotta throw these away because they're starting to take up room, so I'll be right back. From far away, these look like little cakes. Not gonna lie. Down if the others are down. I know Kevin isn't interested. I know Doran will play anything if we have players. So will Dominic. Not sure about Albert. But we'll see. If you want a nice chill game you can play by yourself or with people, I really like Satisfactory. I highly recommend. Oh, it's only 5? Or it's only 6? Damn, I thought it was later. I'm really liking how these are coming out. Hype train. What the heck? We have a hype train? Holy heck, you guys are the best. I love you all. I was looking at farming sims, but not a lot of good ones out. Have you played Potion Permit? Claire, remember, you know how you really like, what's it called? Fuck. Stardew. You know how you like Stardew? Well, Claire really likes Stardew too. And she played Potion Permit afterwards, and she said she really liked Potion Permit. And then there's a few, and then there was another one. I'm forgetting the name of it. I have to look at my Steam library to know the name of it. Because I didn't play it, but Claire did. And she also really liked it. Graveyard Keeper is also a good one. I like Graveyard Keeper. It's a bit grindy, but I really like it. Highly recommend. Dave the Diver is also a fun chill game, but it's not. It's not the same thing at all. I just like it. Fudge, what is that name called? It's one where you have, like, it's basically Pokemon, but instead of throwing them out in balls, they come out of cards. I can't remember. I'll have to ask Claire. DM me to ask Claire later. I would ask her now, but she's in the middle of her workout, and I don't like to bug her during her workout, or I'm trying not to more and more. Because that's her time. I'm trying to learn more and more to give her her time. I'm not great at it because I never grew up with siblings. I grew up as an only child. So I never really learned how to share time or give people their time. I learned how to be alone. Don't get me wrong, like my parents weren't around 24/7, but you know, when you grow up as a, not single, but as an only child, things can get kind of lonely. So you like human connection. So you don't really understand why people want to be alone. And I'm kind of an extrovert. I have a lot of introverted things about me, but for an introvert, I'm fairly extroverted. Then again, you can't really be one or the other. We're always both. Just which do you lean more at? One thing, and I have like very rigid philosophy about that, but at the same time, it's not. I'm very confusing. I think I just like to go against the grain and be like, actually, it's this, but I'm probably just wrong. And that's okay. It's okay to be wrong. When it doesn't matter, it's okay to be wrong. Like this isn't, who says this is right? The answer is nobody. But I'm not saying it's wrong either. Oh, I missed a spot. Tiny little. There we go. Now I've got all 12 drying. I'm waiting for Fields of Mystria to come out with co-op. Ooh, I've been wanting to try that game out for a while. Oh, Moonstone Island, that's what it's called. I just remembered. The other one Claire played was Moonstone Island, so write that down. Moonstone Island, Potion Permit, and Graveyard Keeper. Those are my 3 recommendations for farming sims. Gonna forget. Seriously though, what are you making? Why are we painting today? It's hard to find an absolute true introvert. Not saying they don't exist though. I have Moonstone Island. I don't like it that much. Oh, you don't? No, that's fair. Claire liked it. She didn't love it, but she finished pretty much everything. So what we're painting is in Dungeons and Dragons and other tabletop RPGs. You use a torch so that your character can see. Because if you're in an underground cave or a dungeon, it's going to be dark. There aren't lights set up everywhere, so you're going to need to have a torch as a light source. And torches only create light so far into the game or into the world. So, where's my token? Seriously. Did it disappear? Oh well, I have the extra one, the painting one. So if this was a player token and I put him here and I'm like, this means he doesn't have a torch. So I made these so that way they can put them here. That's their area. That's how far they can see. That's how far the torch reaches. And then when it runs out, I can take it out. And that way we have a good visual indicator of how much the players can see. And then I can just put a IRL timer of like 6 minutes. And it's gone. Maybe I should do longer than 6. Maybe I should do like 15, 20. But the concept is the same. A yoke time. Oh, I can't get to my yokes. My phone is my camera. This is camera. This is phone. This right here. I see. Ah, good. You put your glasses on. Yanni, have you had glasses as long as I've known you? Was there ever a point in time where you didn't have glasses? So I'm just gonna, on this side, I'm gonna draw the background first and then draw the circle later. We're gonna try and reverse this. See which comes out better. I'm just curious which will look better. Yes, when we were younger. Honestly, when I think of your face, I don't even think of you with glasses or contacts. So that's probably why. I think in my head, I don't think of you as with glasses. I don't even really think of Dominic or Doran with glasses, even though I know they wear them. Because they don't need them as much as other people do. I'm only gonna paint half of it, so that way, that way I won't be touching the other sides too much. Actually, you know what? I'll paint the whole edge. Touch this side yet? Cool. We'll do the rest of that later. Let's see. We just see them to see better. Yeah, that's me with my glasses too. I very rarely use them. Who needs to see? I personally walking into poles. Sounds a little painful, to be honest. Yeah, Yuki, I think you might want to stop doing that. Just a suggestion. Okay, we need more paint here, so yeah, I'm just gonna rub this in. Oh, it didn't spill over this time. Thank heavens. We're gonna get the tiniest little drop of red. There we go. There we go. Now let's mix. My bristles. Get some paint out real quick, actually, first too. Dry it off. To clean it so it's not too fudge-sickled. Trying to clean out the bristles as much as I can. Yeah, we'll leave that there like that. And let's mixy mix. The more I mix, the more I'm like, I need a palette. It's a bit too orange for my taste, so we're gonna add a little bit of white. And a teensy bit more yellow. Oh, that's not a teensy bit, but it'll be fine. There's one thing I've learned today, it'll be fine. Maybe a bit more orange. We only have so much more time, chat, because we do have to make dinner tonight and then play Baldur's Gate 3 with my friends. So we're probably going to speed run these other sides. There we go. That's more or less the color we want. Okay, let's dry out this brush. Are you guys gonna be finishing Baldur's Gate 3? I want to play a full run. We're starting from the beginning because it wasn't me playing with them. It was Albert, Dominic, Dorn, Kevin. And I played a run with Dominic, Dorn, and Kevin before. And then we didn't finish. And Albert doesn't want to play another one, but Kevin and Dominic and Dorn are down, and I want to finish a full story before I play a solo run. They did the opposite. They wanted to do a solo run first, and then they did their team run, which is fine. Let's get a big thing of paint. I love that one video of Bob Ross where he says, where he paints a mountain range with only using black and white, and to prove that even colorblind people can paint. Because someone sent a letter in saying, I could never paint like you because I'm colorblind. He's like, bet. Bob Ross was the GOAT. Is it the souls of enemies of the dragons then I hear they make a fine meal? Yes. Yes, they do. But you gotta cook them right. You gotta cook them in soul salt. And penguin pepper. The harder one to get of those two is the penguin pepper. Do you know, by the way, if you like coffee, there's a version of coffee that is made from this one animal's poop, apparently. And it's because like this one animal eats coffee beans, And the way its body digests the coffee beans, like, makes it into, like, the most delicious coffee you can drink, apparently. I wouldn't know. I've never tried it. That's what they say. Is it marmoset? No. Is it? It's a type of lemur, I think. It's not cat's poop. It's an animal you find in, like, I think the rainforest. I think it's only found in South America. Or is it Asia? I feel like it's not Asia, because Asians don't really like coffee. They're more tea drinkers, and they like coffee more in South America. Ooh, that reminds me, chat. I tried making my own matcha latte today. It came out pretty good. Not, like, good quality, but I liked it. But then again, I just like matcha. And milk. My hand is cramping. I missed this area. I thought it was East Asia. Maybe it is East. I learned that from Jack Nicholson. It's cat poop. I'm gonna look it up right now. Yeah, look it up, because I'm pretty sure, because it's not a cat. Maybe it is a cat, but it's not like, it's not a domesticated cat. It's called Kopi Luwak, using a civet. It's primarily produced in Indonesia. Okay, so I was wrong. My theory was wrong. But what kind of animal is that animal? Is it considered a feline? I couldn't figure that out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not a feline. Does it look like a cat to you? Or does it look closer to like a lemur? I think it's not a marsupial. It's a feline type of jungle cat. Is it really? And the same family as mongooses. Oh, so it's not a cat. Okay. Although interesting, they're called toddy cats. Sounds like Europeans came there and like, looks like a cat. Yes. Therefore is cat. And then later they were like, actually it's not a cat. Looks like a cat to me. I don't know. I've seen pictures of it. It does not look like a cat to me. I've also seen one in the zoo. At least I think it might, or it might have been a cousin of it. The edges are the hardest part. Next time I do something like this, I should do the edges first, so they dry. Just as an experiment to see which I prefer doing first, the front or the edges. The faces or the edges, I mean. I don't know if we're going to be able to do this for all of them, because we're running out of time here, chat. But I am glad I'm getting use out of my paint. I have not been able to use enough of my paint. Like the brown, I used up all of the brown. And I bought this giant bottle for more brown in the future. Like this is, here's a comparison. Regular size, the brown I got. Regular size, that's how much brown I use. Because I have to make so many monster tokens and I just use brown for those. We should probably mix some more paint real quick. Ooh, that's a lot of yellow. Getting better at squeezing it out. Phrasing. Who's the guy who voiced Bob and Bob's Burgers again? And Archer and Archer? Did we watch Blood of Zeus yet? Yeah, we saw it yesterday. No, there will not be a Blood of Zeus Season 3 video. Because we're working on a Season 2 video right now. So it sucks that they couldn't get their full 5 seasons they wanted, because I think the show would have gone really good if they did. Because I watched season 1. We were not a huge fan of season 1. We thought it was okay. It was fine. Season 2 was so much better than season 1, and season 3 was really good. For what they had left to do, it was really good. Season 2 is better than season 1. I don't know if season 3 is better than season 2. Because there's like one major thing that doesn't make sense in season 3. In my personal opinion. Does anyone care about spoilers? I'm gonna do this. Save some of that paint. That didn't do at all what I wanted it to, but it's gonna look neat. So, okay, I'm spoiling season 3 of Blood of Zeus for people. So in season 3, at the end of season 2, it ends with, what's her name? Gaia releasing Typhon. And then Typhon goes and he goes into the other world and releases the Titans, you know, Cronus and all of them. And that's cool. I like that. It's honestly, I love the way they did Cronus, and they actually have him voiced by Alfred Molina, aka Dr. Octopus. And the thing is, she's like, oh, I guess I'll listen to you, but I have some rules, yada, 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 right? And then she's like, oh, I'm summoning the Furies, and the Furies will punish the gods for how they've been acting. You guys have been terrible, blah, 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 blah. And so then the Furies, they get Hades, and there's like this pit or whatever, and it has this like energy blast that this energy that keeps going up it kind of like an elevator. And then they're like, that is the pit. It is the most dangerous thing even the gods fear, because it'll destroy your very soul. You can't live in the afterlife. If you fall in there, even if you're a soul in the afterlife, you will be completely evaporated into nothingness. And they were like, it's so evil that even the gods were like, we will not use it on the Titans. Which you're like, what? Which made me go, why not? But whatever. Let's say they're like, oh, we're above them, so we're not going to completely destroy them. And then here's the thing. He brings a soul, one of the judges of the dead, to the pit, and then throws him in to show off, like, oh, I'm willing to do it. Right before he does it, one of the Furies says, Gaia will not allow this. It is the one thing she would not allow. Do not do it. And he just goes, the rules don't apply to me. Literally says the rules don't apply to me, and then just fucking does it anyways. And I hated that. The whole season, me and Andrew were like, why is she letting him do this? Well, hey, here's the little token guy. And they never explain it. He's just doing it, and he can. So it kind of makes no sense. I need to drink some water. Oh, also fun fact that I learned about hydrating and your throat. Drinking water right before hydrating your throat doesn't do anything. It actually takes about 2 hours for that water to fully hydrate your throat. So it's better to be drinking constantly if you're trying to keep your throat hydrated, like if you're a singer or me. Like I'm always talking. Because he's a special little boy. Exactly. That's how it feels. It's just like, okay. Cool, I guess. And it's kind of dumb. I almost painted on the wrong side like an idiot. So I'm just focused on getting this last bit of paint on here, so I was really quiet all of a sudden. Life tip, make sure you leave yourself adequate time to finish any tasks. And if you don't finish a task in a certain amount of time, don't feel bad. Sometimes we just misunderstand how long it'll take. Do you need to paint the bottoms? Nobody's gonna see them. Hell, you could cover them in felt. I could, but I'm going to... I like to paint the bottoms because I like the colors to be the same on both sides. I don't want them in felt because I want them to be able to slide around. I mean, felt can slide, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, and I'm gonna repaint the circle on the bottom side to see which side comes out better. Plus, I like the token to be the same color all the way through. Is it more work and more paint? Yes. Is it worth it? I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna actually clean this up a bit. I like this little, this holder for the paint. Also for a Halloween stream, you and Andrew should play Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthbound. It's a short, fun game. Story is kind of ass. Maybe. Look, you say velvet and felt. I know what they are, but I can't picture them in my head. So unfortunately, you're saying that does not help me, and that's not your fault. That's mine, because I'm an idiot. Ooh, no. No. Got some paint on my monitor. I have to move these. And I gotta get a new thing of paper towels. Okay, I got it. We're good. Thankfully, it was just a schmidgen. A pigeon schmidgen. But it bothered me nonetheless. Okay. Did I pause my music by accident? I did. Okay, that's pretty good. Now let's get the edges. I'm gonna clean my fingers here because I don't want to ruin the other side that we have painted. Pick your picks. I can't look at it right now. I have paint on my hands. I'm busy painting, Alpha. So, does anybody, how was everybody's week? What did everybody do? I'm gonna actually clean my hand just a bit. Oh, it doesn't smudge onto the other one too much. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to not be ruined. I think that's fair, right, chat? Okay, let's make some more paint. Don't want it to cake on here too much. I'm going to clean this real quick. Or clean it as much as I can. Played Skyrim, cried myself to sleep. How was Skyrim? How do you like being in the north? Did a bunch of job applications and played Doom Eternal. Ooh, you getting ready for next Thursday? Never said you had to look straight away, dude. Just letting you know I sent some. No, I know. I'm just reacting to what you tell me. I'm not mad or anything. I'm gonna add some white and some more yellow. Bit too much yellow, but it'll be fine. Hello, Utopian Bacon, Basin, Utopian. Hello, Utopian. How are you? So I'm gonna do some volunteer at uni tomorrow, so that'll be fun. This week I've been playing Age of Calamity, Oblivion Remastered, and various DIY projects. Nice. Sure I am trying. Pretty fun as Proud Nord. I roamed the realm as a werewolf. I love Doom 2016. Such a fun time. It is really, honestly, Doom 2016 is really good. And the changes they did in Eternal are a little frustrating. But then some of the changes are so freaking good. So I can't really hate it. I just find it frustrating at times, you know? Let's do a tiny bit of red. Tiny bit. Watch, this is how strong red is. I'm gonna mix this red in and it's gonna change it so much. Look at that. You probably can't really see it in the camera, but this is our changed one, and then over here is pre-red. You can't really see it unless you're like looking at it IRL. But red is so powerful. My next painting purchase is definitely going to be a palette. I was like, I don't need it. I need it. I like Wolverines a lot. That's cool. Werewolves a lot. That's cool. Good for you. I like them okay. I think they're pretty cool, but I haven't thought about it too much. Eternal isn't bad, but I'm not liking it as much as 2016, although maybe the last 2 missions in Ancient Gods will change that. So here's the thing about Eternal, is in 2016, you can basically get infinite ammo and you can keep re-upping your ammo, and you can just use the same gun over and over and over. So whichever gun you like, you can just keep using that. They really wanted people to have to change guns more. So ammo is a lot harder to come by in Eternal, which can be either really frustrating or really rewarding when you finally learn how to use the system to your advantage. Because I saw a friend of mine play it, and he was basically like, yeah, this is why, and it's frustrating, but I still like it. And I didn't notice that when me and Andrew first played. I had a friend, Jeremy of GetFa, by the way, he was playing it, and he 100%ed everything in Eternal in his first run through. So what he did is he made sure he got everything in every level before he continued on. Oh, also, if you want something to make your life easier, Yuki, you can go to previous areas, pick up a 1-up, leave the level, and it'll save the 1-up. Just like in Mario. So if you want extra lives, if you want it to be a little bit less frustrating, you can do that. Handy tip, you're welcome. I'm looking forward to Dark Ages a lot. Me and Andrew are going to play it as much as we can the first week it comes out. We're going to play it like 4 or 5 days a week. I should let Claire know that is the plan. I haven't quite told her yet. I'm hoping we can clip farm. What changes they made in Eternal? For starters, like I said, the ammo thing. They added more. They added the blood punch. I don't remember if that was in the first one. They added a hook chain where you can get in close to enemies. They made chainsaw ammo more available. Just got Doom Eternal last Sunday. It's kind of hard, but fun. Yeah, it's hard. It is hard. I'm just missing the pistol mostly. I really liked it. Yeah, that was the other thing is the pistol was too strong. And so pretty much everybody used the pistol for a lot of the fights. And so they took that out so that way you would use more of the guns. Honestly, the really only truly frustrating part was that stupid gladiator boss. I was stuck on that rat bastard for way longer than I should have. Are you talking about the, what are they called? The guy that you can only shoot when his eyes glow green, right? Are you talking about that guy? Or is there another guy I'm forgetting? Watching more of your old Kingdom Hearts vids, it must have been so disappointing when Kingdom Hearts started the release because hearing the excitement was really sad for me. Lol. Explain, Demon Blades. So disappointing when Kingdom Hearts 3 got released. Honestly, yeah, it was pretty disappointing. It's not a terrible game. It's good. It has some fun gameplay, but the story just did not hit for me. It didn't. It really didn't. And I know some people, it's like, it's subjective, but I don't think it wasn't like, so it should have been like Endgame, where it was like, it's the final, it's like the end of Marvel, quote unquote. It's the end. We're at the end game. And it didn't feel like that. Like coming up to it was like, yes, yes, yes. And then it came out, I was like, oh, this is good. So it was just really disappointing for me. Thoughts on Lilo and Stitch live action? I'm honestly surprised they didn't do it earlier. It's a fun. I'm interested, but I don't think it's going to be as good as the original. That's my thoughts. Because I don't think they're going to make Lilo as crazy as she is in the original. Because she's literally kind of insane. Like the movie starts with her feeding a fish a sandwich because he can control the weather. And the reason she does that is because her parents died in a car crash when it was raining. So she feels she needs to feed him so that way he'll never make it rain. So that way no more kids' parents will die. And that's not something they tell you in the story, but you can figure that out. And then there's also the fact that literally the next scene, so a girl says she's weird for believing that, and she just throws hands. She just starts beating up another kid. They're not going to have her do that. If they have her punching another kid on screen, I will praise them for that. Because I do not expect them to have Lilo be she was kind of a monster, let's be honest. She's kind of selfish, and I'm not trying to blame her. She's in a broken home. It's hard. It's hard for kids like that. I understand. But it's still kind of fucked up. And then the other thing is, she then goes home and makes voodoo dolls of her friends and says they need to be punished. She says, my friends are not nice people. They need to be punished. It's like, you don't make voodoos of your friends. What are you doing? That being said, I'm excited. I'm excited to see it, not because I think it's going to be amazing, but I'm really curious to see what it'll be like. I'm curious to see how they'll change it. You know what? I retract that. The platforming in some of these missions is rather annoying. It's difficult, but I really liked it. They made it so that you replenish the first chainsaw hip naturally. Yep, that makes it really nice. No, not that. The Marauder wasn't too bad. It's like a proper boss. First stage is with a shield. Second stage is with 2 meteor hammer things. I don't remember that boss. I'm not gonna lie. The actress for Lilo looks like a wet noodle in the trailer. I only saw the trailer once, so I don't really remember her. Do you mean like she doesn't really look like she's emoting enough? That may be, and part of that is because she's not animated. I know some people like, she doesn't have to be animated. It's like, yeah, but here's the thing. You can make people look way more expressive when they're animated than in real life. Like, look at the guy playing live-action Luffy, or live-action Aang. Neither of them is doing a bad job. But you can't get that huge smile that Luffy has. Or that, like, childlike puppy dog eyes that Aang uses in some of the first episodes. You just can't do it. Because people don't look like that. Ooh, that's way too much. Ooh, that's way, way too much. Let me wipe my hands again. Okay, we only have about a half hour left, chat, at most. So we're gonna have to finish these bottom sides, and then I'll do the other sides some other time. Maybe I'll do them over the weekend, and maybe I'll stream it. We'll see. I only saw the trailer once or twice, but her acting did seem kind of flat. Then again, it's a trailer. I'm not gonna try and judge people on trailers too much. When it comes out, then I'll start judging. But trailers, they might be using like the bad footage. It might be a bad take. Who knows? I've never actually seen the original movie. You've never seen the original? I highly recommend you go watch it as soon as you can. Would you play Shadow of Mordor on stream? If people want us to, we will. Because I really like Shadow of Mordor. I got 2/3 of the way through it. And then I kind of got bored and stopped playing it. But I still thought it was fun. Andrew played all of that one and Shadow of War. Definitely one of my favorite additions to the game is the Crucible. Really appeals to that primitive part of the brain. Yeah, honestly, the monkey 8 go boom. So great. With the fucking sword, just wham, dead. Miko bonk, dead. Thought on Doom Guy versus Master Chief. I have never played a Halo game. So my answer is Doom Guy, because I don't know how strong Master Chief is. So there's a Berserker power-up, but I haven't seen that too much. So does the bird... What? I don't know how to answer your question, Yuki. Did see some of the TV series, though. TV series was pretty solid. Not gonna lie. I still recommend you watch the first film. Death Battle. I've played both, and I agree, Doom Guy. There was a death battle. Yeah, I knew there was a death battle, but I'm not. Then it's just me taking someone else's opinions and respouting them. I try to do my own. I will use their information to be like, they say this, and I agree or disagree. But again, I haven't played Halo, and I don't think it's fair for me to say who wins there if I haven't touched Halo. I just don't. I'm not saying you can't. I just don't think it's fair. Alpha, how's your diamond art coming along? Also, Yuki, how are your Do you already have you already had any interviews, or are you still doing some? And how are they going? If you want to talk about it. That wasn't a question, just in addition to... Oh, no, I know. I'm just speaking out loud. I'm just speaking my mind here. Look, I gotta reply to all your chats. If I don't, I'm not engaging with chat enough. You guys don't understand. Sometimes as a streamer, I just have to reply even if the reply is unnecessary. Kind of like how YouTubers have to react to every movie in their genre that they like. Like if you're a Lord of the Rings YouTuber, you have to watch Rings of Power even if you hate it. No interviews quite yet, but they'll come eventually. Thousands of applications. Yeah. Unfortunately, the job market sucks in North America right now. I don't know about the rest of the world, but I know in Canada and US it's kind of crappy, especially for fresh out of college students. Unless you're willing to take a really low pay, not really low, like unlivable, but like, you know, for your degree, low. As a storyteller yourself, how do you make a main character likable while having them do evil deeds? Okay, so there are two... So I wouldn't call myself a storyteller because I play D&D and I run D&D, and I do tell a story in that. But because my audience is so much smaller when I'm running a game of D&D, I focus on the characters that my players are the most interested in and develop those. If there are other characters they don't care about, like if I make Johnny the silversmith and they're like, I don't give a shit about him, but then there's Moblin the goblin and they're like, oh my god, him, I'm gonna add story to him, even if there wasn't story there before, or I'm gonna expand on what I did have. But to make a character who's evil that is likable, that depends on what are you trying to do with this character. Like, what kind of character are they? Are they the big bad evil guy? Are they more just like a roadblock temporarily? Like, is it a shadow type character, or is it a buggy type character, or is it like the world government type character? That changes how you have to change a character. Hey, stop sign, thank you. Turn around, horseshoe, turtle. Heh. One character is a demon and his whole arc is rooted in shame and is about accepting himself and becoming a better person. Okay, let's see. Where in the story is this a main character for what? For what is it for? Is it for you playing a game by yourself? Is it for you writing a story? What is it for? Is this for a game of D&D? Okay, we're gonna need more paint. I'm gonna try and use up all the paint on this brush before I scoop some more. Okay, I think we're gonna have to make some more. Yeah, I don't have a lot of paint left. My hand's cramping. I should rest my hand for a bit. Okay, so you're writing a story. Okay, so he's the main character of your story. Where are we starting from in his story as a person? Are we starting from when he's a kid, before he does all the evil stuff? And are we going to see him do all the evil stuff? Are we starting from when he's an adult? Once he's committed all this evil stuff, is he a teenager? Because that'll help me help you. I just need some work for the summer since I won't be able to work once I start teacher's college, so I'll just need about anything. That's fair. Making money, your biggest wealth building tool is always your income. So having an income is always a good thing. Always a good thing. Doesn't matter if it's $1 a day. It's better than nothing. That being said, if you're getting $1 a day, get a different job. If you're getting anything less than what is good enough to keep you going, you're not getting enough. It took me 2 years from graduating college to get a job at Target. Sounds about right. Things are rough out there right now. Things are actually a little rough at Target due to everything. So I'm thinking about sending out some more resumes, but I'm not rushing anything. I would still send out those resumes. Just send them out, and whichever you get that feels like it'll be more stable or it's going to give you more money, take it. Just send out resumes and see what comes out. Even right now, if you feel like you should, if you're already thinking that you might need to do it, start doing it. Don't wait 6 months. Don't wait a year when it's like you have to do it. Do it now while your things are still stable. That way, if it falls through, you still have your job at Target. What are we making? So, I play a game of D&D, Utopian, or I run a game, and I use these little tokens here for my players. I have some I can show you, but sometimes, the players need they'll like, oh, I need a torch, right? Well, how do I represent the light of a torch? We could just say, oh, you can see or you can't see, or I can go, boop. That orange is your torch, the yellow is you. And it came out a lot more orange than I would have liked. But I can fix that. It starts in the present, and by this point, he's already done a lot of evil stuff. He's also an adult. Okay, then first, does he feel guilty, or is he going to learn to feel guilty throughout the course of the story? Second, how many people know of the evil stuff he did? Is it everybody, or like just a certain group of people that he's avoiding? Third, have you read or listened to the audiobook of Shadow of the Conqueror? I highly recommend you read or listen to it, because it's basically the same story. Or same story concept. It's about a guy who has committed all these horrible crimes. He's their world's Hitler, basically. And he grows old. He escapes getting sent to prison or executed, and he grows old in secret and hiding. And he starts to feel really guilty about all the stuff he's done. And so as he's about to die, because he's like an old man, he's dying, he like wishes he hadn't done what he did. And then he suddenly becomes really young, and he looks like what he looked like when he was 18. And so nobody recognizes him. And so now he goes around the world trying to help people to kind of free himself from the guilt of all the stuff he's done, to redeem himself. He's going to learn to feel guilty. It's people who knows about the supernatural. Expand on that. I'm confused. Exactly what do you mean by that? If there was a job paying $1, I'd be concerned since that's way below minimum wage. It is. But my point is, mathematically, getting paid is better than not getting paid. That being said, having a good job should be on everybody's list of things to do. And it should be something that is feasible for as many people as possible. There's always going to be some people who that's going to be not impossible, but a lot more difficult for. I'm talking about people with like mental health issues or, you know, like severely autistic. It's going to be harder for them. Not impossible, just harder. And I'm not saying they shouldn't be allowed to. I'm just saying it's going to be harder for them. Kind of like it's harder for people with crutches to go upstairs. These came out way more orange than I would have liked. I can always fix them. But I like them okay. Okay, let's mix this. Let's add in some more yellow for this, actually. Ooh, that's way more yellow than I meant to. Oh well. I think after the stream I'm gonna buy a palette. That way I can clean it and reuse it multiple times. Maybe I should make this actually more red because it's going on the edges. I'm being lazy because it's the last two. Want to see Star Wars movie in the Milky Way galaxy? Not really. The point is it's supposed to be as another universe, basically. So putting it in the Milky Way I don't think works, personally. I know that there is the comic where Han Solo finds Indiana Jones's skeleton. But I feel like that was more of a joke than something they actually wanted to do for the story. That was close. Fuck. We'll fix any mistakes later, if they need to be fixed. Okay, I need to throw these excess away. I'll be right back. Then we'll do the last one, then we're done. As far as the dark fantasy and the people who know him also know about the supernatural. Okay. But like, how do I explain this? Are most people he's going to interact with going to know about him or not? That's the question. Because it doesn't matter if... Like, think of it like Devil May Cry, right? Most people don't interact with demons in the series. Most people probably don't know who Dante is. Until, like, the fourth one, I guess. And yet, everybody who talks to him is like, I know who Dante is. He's this person. He's that person. He's my brother. He's the guy who's the son of the guy who beat my boss, or, you know. I didn't know that the Doomslayer was a descendant of B.J. Blazkowicz. Heh. Yeah, I heard that. I didn't even know they were in the same universe. I don't know who B.J. Blazkowicz is. Doesn't have to be the Milky Way, but I just want a new galaxy. If you get a new galaxy, it's not really Star Wars anymore then, is it? Part of the point is that it's the story happening in the galaxy. Guy from Wolfenstein. Never played Wolfenstein. Always wanted to. Looks like a really great series. The general idea of people will know of him and his evil deeds. There's only a few people who know him personally. Well, yeah, that's... Whether they know him personally doesn't matter. Oh, Yuki. There's a TV show that Claire and I have started watching. It already ended. It's a comedy, but it takes place in your country, Canada. At least I think it does. It can be one where Sith are on the good side of the public eye. Oh, what's it called? Schitt's Creek. It's a comedy about a bunch of rich people who suddenly lose all their money and they have to move to this town called Schitt's Creek. And apparently it takes place in Canada. At least I think it does. I also know Kim's Convenience takes place in Canada. Oh, also does Orphan Black. Orphan Black is so good. I know that one. Okay, good. They got one right without any mistakes. Who got one right without any mistakes? I'm confused. Schitt's Creek is pretty funny. Like, I can't really explain what makes it funny unless you have to just watch it. Okay, I think we finished for now. Let's get one of the dried ones and see how it came out. I think some of them might be dried. We'll give it a minute. I'll let this soak in here. Is it maple syrup and igloos? We ride polar bears at dawn. The hell? No, that's the Alaskans. The Alaskans ride the polar bears. You guys ride the maple corns. Funny enough, my high school chemistry teacher showed us an episode of the last day of classes back in 2020. It's good. It's good. I highly recommend watching more of it if you were at all interested. I would start from the beginning, though. It's one of those shows that just gets better because you get into the characters and you see how they kind of got to where they are. Also, it's so funny how the town is named Schitt's Creek. because the guy, the person who founded it, his last name is Shit. And so the mayor is a guy named Roland Shit. Let's put these to dry. And these ones should be dried. Let's check. Yes, that is his name. Look at that. That looks pretty good. Bottom side. And then we'll draw a circle in the center next time, see how it looks. But I think these came out pretty good. Now when my players are like, I use a torch, I can go boop. There you go. There's your torch. And I like how I do like how it doesn't fit a perfect circle. Kind of like how fire kind of waves. It looks like it's waving like it's like moving with the wind. I actually really like how these came out. Even though they came out way more orange than I was anticipating. I should have probably put more yellow, less orange. It's fine. I'm happy with it. Peak comedy. Truge. All right, let's, I'm gonna pack this up, so I'm gonna turn that off. Let's go to the main camera. America has not made any Purple Hearts since World War II because they made a bunch in Inception of a Grand Invasion. It's probably a good thing they did that because it's way more expensive to make stuff now than it probably was back then. Anyways, guys, this was great. A ground invasion of Japan. That makes sense. I can see why they would think that. All right, chat. Thank you all for joining me for this. Oh my god, I want to get back to Expedition 33 soon. But I gotta finish the video for Andrew. I gotta make dinner, and then I'm gonna play some Baldur's Gate 3. Let's go. I'm gonna play a Monkadin, a Monk Paladin, so I can punch with the power of God. Thank you for joining me. It is so great to see all of you, each and everyone who showed up. Thank you guys for the hype train, by the way. That was wonderful. Let me thank Yuki. Doesn't show all the it's not showing all the events. Well, let me thank everybody who helped create that hype train. You guys were awesome. We will see you all next time. Stay safe, stay smart, stay healthy. Be thankful for everything and everyone in your life. We'll be playing some more Expedition 33, maybe on Sunday, definitely on Monday, possibly on Wednesday. I don't know when the new Doom comes out. It either comes out Wednesday or Thursday, and then we're getting straight into Doom. And until then, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Be thankful for everything and everyone in your life, and don't believe in yourself. Believe in me, who believes in you. Bye-bye, chat.